Welcome to Paranormal.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day. Let's see if anybody wants to comment and say hello. Waiting. It's always so much fun. Little problem there. Hey, Frankie. Hey, Pedro. How are you guys doing? Oh, that's good, Pedro. That's awesome. Oh, you're finally driving to Dakota. Okay, no problem. I understand. Ugh. Sitting here waking. Love notifications. They take forever. It's always so much fun. Yay. That wonderful, awkward time.
Well, I wish I had my guitar with me.
Huh?
I wish I had my guitar with me.
Aw.
I would have played you a little song.
Aw.
Yeah, no.
Got it. No problem. Don't want you typing and driving. Got to keep you around. Has she popped on yet, honey? Hey, Hang on one second. So I have a wonderful interview. Bo&Mo Explorers. They're in Holland, and we're just waiting for her to pop on. We lost her just briefly, so we just got to wait for her to pop on. A guitar. I think she wanted to catch an announcement over there, so she will be with us in just a second. She didn't want to miss it. But they are, I've known her for quite a while. I've followed her quite a while. She's got some good stuff, and she's very interesting. So I can't wait. It'll be fun. Be careful, Frank. That's not good. I think people drive a lot more crazier when it's raining. Okay. She will be with us just briefly. Poor Frank. Oh no. Scattered clouds. That's an interesting way to call the weather. Scattered clouds.
It was clear this morning and this afternoon. Totally clear blue skies.
Still not too bad out there.
No, scattered. They're scattered. They're scattered clouds.
They're scattered.
Yeah.
They're scared.
Scattered.
Scared.
Scattered.
They're scared. They scattered.
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 Yeah. You done it.
Scattered. Just leave it up to the professional. Oh. Woke up at 4:30 this morning. Always fun. Kid thought he was going to play his PlayStation at 4:30 this morning until it was time to get the bus. So when she pops on.
Hello.
Hello. So I want to introduce Monique to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hola.
So Frank is here in America. He's my naughty boy. And Alpha Paranormal is in Germany. Okay, so let's get started. Sorry, he's doing weird things. So, first question. How long have you been involved in the paranormal?
Now I do this 1 year. I was always with my son, and I was only airbags,
Right.
abandoned places, and when I in that building, I feel something.
Hmm.
And my girlfriend, she said van, um, I don't know how to say in English. Het helpt me. Zesde zintuig.
Sixth sense.
Sixth sense.
Yes.
Yes.
She asked me, "What is your sixth sense?" I don't know. She said, "I go help you." And now I feel things, I see things. We are doing also cold cases, unsolved cases,
Hmm.
and I see things what's happening. Um,
Like
of-
residual energy.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what exactly got you into the paranormal? Was it your friend?
No, I know from myself. I When I was little, I feel I have something, but
Hmm.
I never don't know what it was. I put it away, always put it away.
Right.
I think, I'm crazy in my head. I feel something. I'm crazy,
Hmm.
but it's not crazy.
Right. Right.
Or
Okay.
maybe a little crazy.
I can relate. I get that. I get those looks. Um, so when you go out investigating, what equipments do you use?
I have a rampart, a K2 meter, EMF meter,
Hmm.
spirit box, um, laser grid.
Hmm.
Uh, oh, I know. EMF and EVP recorder, and that's it.
Hmm.
I just buy the rampart.
Hmm.
I I want more
Right.
stuff. More
Right.
stuff.
Because it's interesting because when I, in my 20s, got into the whole paranormal thing, we didn't have any of this stuff. Nothing. It was a either a VHS camcorder or the mini, you know what?
Yeah, I know. I started with a photo camera,
Mm-hmm.
and only take pictures. And an old friend for me, he was a paranormal investigator here in the Netherlands, and he said, "I quit." I said, "Oh, exactly, and all your stuff. Oh, you can buy it."
Oh,
Okay. And so I have everything. I have now four video cameras, and all the stuff I buy it from him.
oh, wow. That's
So
awesome.
yes, I was so happy.
I bet. Because
Yeah.
that stuff is some of it is ungodly expensive.
Oh, that's so many money, Bobo.
My thing is, I want a thermal camera, and
Yes,
those are so, oh, ouch.
yes. But
Mm-hmm.
what I know is a thermal camera. It can be goedkoop, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a camera from I thought the Wii or PlayStation. I saw an off video.
Yeah.
And a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
The original thermal camera is that costs so many money,
It does.
but you can do it much easier.
Yeah. Which one is your favorite? Out of all the equipment, which one is your favorite?
My spirit box
Yeah, I agree.
and my necrophonic app.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've seen you use the Necrophonic app.
Yes.
What do you think?
I first I thought, oh, only English. So it's a program. It's make and they put words in it. But I use it here in the Netherlands on a sort of battlefield, and I get German, I get Netherlands, I get Americans.
Wow.
So for me, the app is real.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very, very interesting because I always thought the Necrophonic app, you could pick the language.
No.
Ah.
You download and you set them on, and you get your answers.
Right.
Netherlands, France, English.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, another thing I've learned. I didn't even know that. How do you find the locations that you investigate at?
Most of the time I look on Facebook from other paranormal investigators. The last time I found an abandoned farm when I do Randonautica. There's how to say, the Randonautica is used in America and Canada a lot, and in the Netherlands I don't see videos from that.
Oh wow.
So I said, okay, I go do that. And I found a abandoned farm.
Oh wow.
And or on Google Maps, you can see on Google Maps or Street View, you can
Right.
see yeah, of it's abandoned or not.
Right. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the British love Randonautica.
It's nice.
We've never done it.
I have tried now 2 times. First time it was nothing, and the second time we found it abandoned farm, and a child toy.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you have a location that has scared you or you didn't feel good at?
Oh yes, we have one location, and that video is made with a big Netherlands YouTuber. They invited us to come with them to that place. That is a very scary place. I have said I go never, never, never again to that
Wow.
place. But they asked us. I said, okay, I do it for you, but I go never, never again to that place. No.
Wow. What is your favorite location?
Our favorite location was abandoned care home.
Yeah.
for old people, but it's gone. It's
Yeah.
it's gone.
Y'all were able to go, I think, a couple of times, didn't y'all?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
And always we have activity.
I
But
think
now,
you
it's
heard
gone.
footsteps. I think wasn't one time you heard footsteps above y'all?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yeah,
I saw that
yeah,
one. That was interesting.
yes. That was an interesting building.
Now, I see that you've gone to Belgium and Germany. Have you been to any other countries?
France.
In France.
So
Okay.
it's Belgium, France.
Mm-hmm.
That was an abandoned military base.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. See, not that many Americans get that privilege. If you could go to any country, where would you like to go to investigate?
America. You know that. You know
Yes.
that. That's my dream. America. Yes.
Yeah. Uh, I think we were talking. You were like, I probably would never go home.
Yes, but I am in America, and that's really true. I never go home again.
Mm-hmm.
That's my dream to go to there and stay there.
Yeah. It's stuck here. I think you're pretty happy here, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is America better than the Netherlands, Ed?
Mijn Nederland is verdwenen.
Okay.
Het Nederland waar ik ben opgegroeid, dat is er niet meer.
I don't.
Dus,
Can you say it again?
Say it again.
It was lagging.
Zo, het Nederland waar ik ben in opgegroeid, dat is er niet meer.
Okay.
Dus ik mis die oude jaren, maar het is beter hier in Amerika.
Thank you.
Plus, what I found, because I got to live 4 years in Holland, it is so different. Everything is very different in Europe than here in America. Of course, you don't have all the we don't have as much history, but depending on where you go in America, if you go more up north from where I am, New England area, New York, you're going to have more of the revolutionary and fighting with Indians. And then you come down, hey, Cassie. And then here, you have more of the Civil War. I think it would be my 3 or 4 time great grandfather fought in the Revolutionary War. Then he was called back into duty and had to go down south in Georgia and fight the Indians.
Okay. Yes, but I hear on the most videos is the most ground is buried with Indians.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a little careful. Different tribes also act different ways. So, like in my state, we had Cherokee Indians up north, Creek Indians in the south. The Cherokees tried to work with, the settlers coming in. They weren't really aggressive. I mean, they're I'm not saying that not all of them weren't,
Mm.
but down south, they fought. They were like, nope, 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 we're not having it. So, you do have to kind of be careful. You got Indian mounds everywhere. I mean, we have them here, and they're just spread out everywhere. But it's just different where you go. And I mean, I loved the experience I got living in Holland, because I picked up a lot of residual energy, especially Rotterdam, where it was bombed, and then things, fighting the Dutch resistance, and which poor Ed didn't even believe in anything. So it's I pulled him into it because I didn't know Dutch. I didn't know the Dutch history. I didn't know the language.
No.
And I'm picking up all this stuff, and he's going, how do you know this?
Yeah.
So it's interesting how different it is from here and there. I didn't really pick up on anything older than World War II. But I think it's just the heaviness of everything that happened.
Yes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever been touched or scratched?
Touched, yes. A
Mhm.
couple times.
Wow.
Yes. In that building, but I say I never go there anymore.
Uh-huh.
I push in my back. And
Oh.
in an old farm where the owner is murdered, I stood on the bed and I asked what is happening, and the spirit box I say I'm murdered. Ik ben vermoord.
Oh, wow.
Here on bed, and in that room I feel a finger touch in my back.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is a little unnerving when you're touched and you're not ready to.
More, I'm very calm, very.
Mm-hmm.
I say, I turn around, I put my back to a wall,
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Don't touch me. It's not
Mhm.
allowed. Don't touch me." But
Mhm.
I stay calm.
I've been touched twice, and one was at a location where a man was murdered, and something grabbed my wrist, and it made me so angry. And I spun around. I was like, "Don't ever touch me."
Yeah.
No. We don't
No.
play that game. I
No.
respect you. You respect me. This is my
Yeah.
boundary. And then the other one is my house, it was a brand new house. And I call him the angry man
Okay.
because every time I walk into my bedroom, he's right in my face,
Oh
screaming
wow.
and yelling. He was a Civil
Oh.
War soldier. So everything I got off of him was, it's not my war. I didn't want to fight. And he died slowly. And
Okay.
he followed me to Holland.
Whoa.
And I didn't know because, I'm trying to get used to everything. And I was sleeping and I had my foot out of the covers.
Yeah.
And he grabbed my ankle.
Oh wow.
And when he grabbed me, I knew who it was. And I was asleep. I sat up. I was like, don't you ever. I mean, I yelled it because I was sleeping.
Yes.
And
Oh my God.
I was like, don't you ever touch me. And Ed's looking at me
Mm.
like, what's wrong with you? I didn't touch you. I was sleeping.
Oh, poor Ed.
I put him through some. I still do.
Wow.
Okay, I've seen you investigate cemeteries,
Yes.
and we were just talking about how in Holland, and I think everybody will be in America. They'll be a little shocked because in America, you pay for your burial plot, and that's where you stay. Period. But in Holland and other European countries, it's different.
It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Um, in Holland, you get buried. Your family must pay for the place where you buried. I think 15 or 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
If the family not pay anymore, your grave will dig up and it's gone.
Mm-hmm. And I think that would shock a lot of people in America because that never, you know, that just doesn't happen. But Holland is a small country, and space is very needed. And
Yes,
but go ahead.
the size of the cemetery in America and
Mm-hmm.
Canada, name it,
Huge.
is so huge. It's America is this, and
Mm-hmm.
Holland is this.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's so small.
but the one thing that I love watching you go through the cemetery is how beautiful and very artistic these people's graves, the tombstones, they are
Yes.
gorgeous. You will not see anything here in America like that. And I think Ed's got a video that we can show people real quick, because I think once they see how beautiful these graves are.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta move it to.
I know, honey. He's setting it up. So almost there. Almost.
Almost.
Throw it in, honey. There we go.
Yes, this is a very old
Mm-hmm.
cemetery, and I think this is okay. This is um, in two pieces. New ones and very old ones.
Mm-hmm.
And most old ones are also very big, the same as in
Mm-hmm.
America. This is beautiful. This
It is.
is
I
so
mean,
beautiful.
it's just.
1923.
Mm-hmm. It's just. I mean, it's you don't see anything like this, and I mean, I saw where you went through a newer one, and
So
there was a.
you saw that white placket on the grave.
Mm-hmm.
There was a note from the grave care, but you must come. So, when you not come, it's gone. We back it up and
Oh,
it's gone. Yes, and there in
wow.
on that cemetery, a lot notes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
See, look at that. That's just
that's amazing.
enormous. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
And the new ones are just as gorgeous. There's one where you go through and it's like it looks like a guitar under a glass case. I mean,
Yes, yes. There
eh,
was there is
let's see, he's fast forwarding a little bit.
it's a famous guitarist.
Ah,
Yes, there's this here.
it's just beautiful. There we go.
There we go.
You would never see anything like that here.
It's a real guitar. That's
Mhm.
so amazing. I have never seen it before.
Mm-mm. I mean, it's just that's just gorgeous.
Yes, that's
And there's pianos and oh my
yeah,
goodness, just
piano.
it's very artistic and just beautiful, and it just the grounds are so nicely kept up, and
Yes,
it just looks so peaceful. That's I've always found cemeteries to be very peaceful, and seeing
I love walking on a cemetery.
hmm I mean, and you filmed some beautiful places.
Thank you.
So I noticed about 8 or 9 months ago you began working with a group.
Yes.
Can I name the group?
Yes, yes. Oh, please.
Okay. You've been working with a group called Haunting Ghost Nederland.
Yeah.
I can't do good.
Yes, yes, yes.
How did that come about? You working with them?
I saw a video and I give a comment, and she gave me comment back, and I find her on Facebook, and we go talk, and she said from come to me, we go together out filming, and now we're
Mhm.
stuck together.
I know. Y'all been doing some really interesting stuff. We'll get to it. Um, so you've also got into doing cold case investigations. Do you want to share your experience?
Yeah,
Did it break up?
I, I can't hear anything.
Okay. Are you there? Uh-oh.
Do you
She's
move?
lagging a little bit. See, she can log out and then log back in, and that should help.
No.
Let's see. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
Come back.
Can't have an interview with problems.
I'm being very rude.
You're being very rude.
Yeah, I kicked her off and then
Oh,
waiting for it to come back. There you go.
Are we in? Are we in?
there we go. You're in.
Go.
Okay. So the question was, um, I've noticed you guys have gotten into doing cold case investigations.
Yes.
Is there anything you can share with us about that?
We have one case, and it's about an um, 80 Ethiopian, Add help.
What's going on?
She's lagging a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. What do you need Ed to help you with?
Ethiopia.
Did you hear that, Ed?
What?
Ethiopia.
Oh, Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia?
Yeah. He was missing, murdered, missing, and we have response from someone that was looking the video, and she sent us a message. You must go look. There is something happening, and we went yesterday. Go to that place, and a little bit come through the spirit box, but not yeah. I cannot say from okay. Now we have the solution.
Right.
No.
Wow. So that's very interesting. I like that y'all are kind of branching out and doing different things and all that.
My channel is not only airbags, not only paranormal, but also my son has a RC car. So he set the camera and he is going to play with the RC car also on our channel. What we're doing in house, I het help knutselen.
Okay.
Knutselen.
You
she's working in the house. So,
wait, what?
She's working in the
house.
Yeah. She's like getting stuff made and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, little things. Oh, we put that on our channel. So last 2 years ago, it's snowing in the Netherlands. Not so much, but I have a bag. I cut it open, and I make it on the end of my car. My son sat on that bag, and I drive, and he is on behind my car.
Right.
So we do everything.
Hey, I mean, whatever it takes, right? Have fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's fun. It's exciting. It's yeah. Everything.
Yep. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Get
Okay.
to know you. The first one is, what is your favorite home cooked meal?
Erwtensoep.
Ah. And I don't know where Ed went to.
He's run away.
He didn't get a drink before this started.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So you'll have to explain what her favorite meal is.
Oh, sorry.
Erwtensoep.
I'm right here.
Hang on.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to tell him again. He didn't have his headphones on.
Erwtensoep.
Oh, it's pea soup.
Split pea?
Yeah, split pea soup.
Ah.
Yes.
It's funny because here it gets really, really hot. So during the summer, we don't do any Dutch meals because it's just very heavy. But in the wintertime, let's see, what did we have last night? Ed?
Yes, honey.
What did we eat last night?
Aardappeltjes met spinazie.
Oh.
En een eitje. En natuurlijk carbonade.
Kijk, echt Nederlands.
Mhm.
Echt Nederlands, ja.
We have to make him happy. We have to have our Dutch meals. What was the other favorite one? And what's funny is our son was almost 2 when we moved here. So he wasn't speaking that much because he was learning 2 languages at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
Because we take him to the doctor for his checkups. And I'm like, he should be talking more. And she's like, calm down. He's learning too. Because I was speaking English and Ed was speaking Dutch. He had his
Yes.
Dutch programs, but he would only, when he started speaking, it was only Dutch. So when we moved to America, I had to explain to everybody, okay, if he says Kippy, he wants chicken nuggets. And I was like, nay is no, yeah is yes. And
Yeah.
oh, what were other? I had to tell my mom all these things.
Oh, yeah.
But he knew English because I mean he would respond to me, but he just wouldn't speak it at that time. But so he picked it up really quick, and
Oh, that's
he kept
nice.
asking for that meal last night. For 2 nights, he's been asking for that. And I was like, yeah, he still has a little Dutch in him.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Yeah.
let's see, that's the one thing I love is that my child got to experience eating in Holland because he would eat tomatoes and we've never fought with him about eating his vegetables. And Ed thought I was crazy. I said, the baby food in Holland is superb. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, in America, we don't have baby food that's like spaghetti bolognese. And it tastes homemade.
Yeah.
And Ed's like, well, they had to do that because they had to compete with the mothers that were making food for their babies. And I was so shocked. And he has never been a picky eater. I mean, never. We do.
No.
What's the other meal we do? The Dutch meal with the sauerkraut?
Ja, zuurkool.
Oh,
Met,
zuurkool is gauw.
oost-
Ja.
He eats that.
Wow.
No problem. It's funny because, I mean, he'll eat, what's the other, the Braunschweiger. And American kids, Braunschweiger. Mm-mm. So it's interesting. I miss the food in Holland.
Oh. When I am in America, I will cook for you.
Okay. So do you have any pets?
I have a bird.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a bird. He can speak. He calls me when I come home from work. I make the door open, and he calls me poppetje, 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 poppetje.
Oh.
Yes,
And he does kickapoo.
I just kickaboo,
Mm-hmm.
and when I go eat, he eat a little piece of bread. I said, krijg je boterham? Oh, jumping to his cage, and he's so sweet.
Oh.
He's
Now
really
I'll have
sweet.
to explain to people because I tried to, when I was living in Holland and having our son, I tried to learn as much as I could. Dutch was so hard for me to understand. And when I had him and I had the kiddie shows going, I was picking it up. And I'll never forget, we were at a family get together and Ed was talking to one of the family members and I understood exactly what he said. And he said, do you want to repeat it in Dutch, what you said? Do you remember what you said about, you were talking about Derek?
Ik hoop dat hij nooit een meisje wordt.
And I was like, don't you call him a girl. And he goes, did you just understand what I said? And I said, yes, I most certainly did. And don't talk that way about your son. He's not a girl. And it was the most hilarious thing. So Kickaboo
Wow.
is like, we here in America, we do peekaboo,
Yeah.
you know, and in America it's Kickaboo. So
Yeah.
I tried to, keep along those lines a little bit. Couldn't
Yeah.
speak it, but I could understand it. And I had to learn my ABCs to be able to do it with my son. I especially had to learn numbers.
Oh yeah.
When you say 21, it's 21.
21. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were just talking about where my husband lived in Rotterdam,
Yeah.
the hard G, the G. 2 years it took me to say that.
Uh,
And I had to learn it because our street name, and I still can't say our street name right. Let's see if I can do it. Skieweg.
Mhm.
Did it.
Skieweg.
Uh-huh. He's like, you've got to know this in case something happens. And I was
Yeah.
like, and that was
Okay.
so hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite color?
Red and black.
Ah, nice colors. If you could go anywhere for a holiday, where would you go and why? I know that answer.
Yes, you know the answer. I want to go to America. It's when I see that on television or on YouTube, on videos, it's so interesting to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
I see something about the military in America. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I
Yes.
see sometimes the same videos, but always emotional. Um, that's amazing. So that
Mm-hmm.
is in the Netherlands. We don't have that so much.
Yep.
The respect. It's no
How
word.
patriotic we are.
Yeah,
The,
that's
the
that's
the one thing my husband loved, and he said the minute we get to America, he says, I want to fly my Dutch flag, which a lot of Americans will understand this, but in Holland, you can only fly the Dutch flag on, well, it's now King's Day. It was Queen's Day when we lived there. King's Day. And you can fly it when you graduate university, correct?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I was like, why can't you fly your Dutch flag? He's like, you can get fined for flying your Dutch flag. Or he had a Dutch patch on his jacket, and he's like, I could even get a fine for wearing this. And
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I don't care. So it's yeah, we're a lot more patriotic, aren't we, honey?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. In the Netherlands, it's not allowed the whole year to fly the flag.
Mm-hmm.
It's not allowed.
That's the one thing my husband loves more than anything. He loves his Dutch flag hanging out there. And you
Yeah.
won't believe how many neighbors are going, what flag is that?
No.
And we have German woman that lives here. We have Hungarians,
Bulgarian.
Bulgarians. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Bulgarians. Don't we have Polish? I think we have a Polish.
Not that I know.
Yeah, I think she used to live here. And then across the street, where would you say she's from?
Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She called it, what did she call it?
Persian.
Huh?
Persian.
She says I'm Persian, and Ed corrected her. Leave it to me.
Oh,
That's the one thing about the Dutch that's different about Americans. Dutch are
yes.
very honest people. It's rude to talk behind somebody's back. You know, you just, that was what's the first year I was almost in tears because I was like, gosh, so rude. And here we're not so forthcoming. And it was that honesty that I loved so much because
Yeah.
you know where you stand. And here, it can be a little
Yes.
tricky. But I think we had one friend come and she just had so much fun in America. I mean, she had to go to all the different fast food restaurants because, like, I guess I'll explain to the Americans. Holland has Burger King, they have McDonald's and KFC.
Yeah.
And so when she came here, she had to have Wendy's and Taco Bell and Crystals and I think that's the few that we went to. She would not stop going to Taco Bell. Okay, last one. What is the best thing that has happened to you?
My grandchild, my little baby, my little angel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is. Um, she's now 4.5 years, and she's very special.
Oh.
Yes, she's. My daughter lost 15 years ago the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and she have waited 10 years for pregnancy. Only hospital in, hospital out, hospital in, and everything what you can do to have a baby, she have done. And the last,
Wow.
really the last thing is my little girl is
Aw.
coming. Yes,
And she is the cutest thing
yeah.
ever. She is so cute.
She's so cute. She's so sweet. She's so beautiful.
Aw.
She's my heart. She's my life.
I knew
Yes.
exactly that. I knew that answer.
Yeah.
Because, like, as I told everybody, before I even started my channel, I had followed you and your channel, and we had talked, and I had even shared with you about starting a channel, and you were so supportive of me doing that.
Yes. Yes.
And you have been you are so special to me. I mean, it means so much to me
Thank
how supportive you were of me, and I
Yes.
just had to return the favor and interview you because I think you're amazing and the things that you do are amazing.
Thank you.
My Dutch is not as good as it used to be, but I'm pretty good at picking up some things and getting it. Being away from
Yeah,
Holland.
I must. There are some people. They ask me for put subtitles on the videos. I must try to do that.
We'll see if we can help, and because I think it probably would help doing subtitles.
Yeah, I think.
It would reach a whole lot more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people ask me from do that. Try to put a subtitle. So
It's
I
not
go.
easy.
No.
It's not.
Anyway, you can do that when you upload video. Then you can click a thing, and you I will try. I will try. I will see.
Well, we'll help you out if we can. Yeah, Alpha Pedro. It's not easy. I do English and Portuguese subtitles on his. He lives in Germany, and he's up and coming, and he's also very good.
Okay.
He's I've liked what I've seen so far, so we got to give him a big thumbs up.
I
Okay.
will. I will go after this to go to his channel.
Yeah. And that's a lot. I mean, German, English, and Portuguese. My goodness. I mean, I can barely speak English. I mean, let's see, how many languages can you speak, Ed? 6.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
only
go
I
ahead.
only
Sorry.
Dutch. I only Dutch, English, and a little bit German. When
I
I
was. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
when when I go speak German, I say 3, 4, 5 words. Then I go to English.
Yep. It's funny because it shocked me when we went to Luxembourg. The lady who ran the hotel spoke German. The lady who ran the cafe spoke French. And everywhere we went, he had to ask German or French, and then he would have to
Yeah.
translate to me. And I'm going, he's like, you got to understand how it's done. He's like, you know, they speak to me, it goes in Dutch, and then I have to translate that to English. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Wow.
but I corrupted his English. Didn't I, dear?
No, you didn't.
He spoke proper British English. And yeah, I was a bad influence on him. Okay, so do you follow any American Paranormal teams?
A lot.
Okay, so I was wondering, do you see if there's any difference in the way they investigate and the
Oh,
way and other teams in Holland investigate?
I see some paranormal investigators that I think you set it up. I see that
Yeah.
a lot. I look one channel. They this guy the big video from you, from me, from anyone else, and he spirit. I said say wrong. He go look the video one
Mhm.
time, 2 times, 10 times, and then he sees things. Oh, that's not true. That's set up.
Mhm.
And the some that I watch, I think, oh, that's not that's not real. That's not nice. That's not don't fit paranormal.
Right. Because there is people don't understand there is a cultural difference. And what I've noticed is like with you and you know, haunting ghost of Nederland, y'all aren't as aggressive in communicating with spirits. And I do find that some American teams can be aggressive in their
Yes.
investigation. Not
Yes.
all, not all,
No.
but
But some.
yeah, because I have a problem, you know, when you're going to communicate with the spirit, you know, be nice, be polite. it's like talking to somebody that's living.
Yes.
So it's nice to say, please, can you do this? And that's, I noticed lacking in some paranormal investigators.
Yes. And uh, be respectful. Ask
Mhm.
respectful. Do not say every time. You must say. You must say. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. Don't do that.
Mhm.
If they not want to speak, then they say nothing.
Right. And it's just very, the one thing I learned that I thought was interesting is in France, um, there was a girl that was doing a documentary on why paranormal was so popular in the UK. And she explained that in France, you will never see anybody go into um, castles, um, places like that have tourists come in. You will never see a paranormal team ever be invited. She says, we look at it, we know their spirits, we respect them, we just leave them alone. And she says, if somebody, say a castle that's open to tourists, invited paranormal team in, they would be, I wouldn't say shunned, but it, people would be very upset that they allowed that to happen. And I thought that was very interesting in France. I never realized that.
And I think that's right. There's here in the Netherlands, we have film with Stuk TV, the biggest YouTubers from Netherlands. They are they do the drop, and they go. Last video was also in a castle, and that lady, she said, "You are the first one that do paranormal investigation in this castle."
Oh wow.
Nobody was allowed to do that.
Wow.
Yes,
It's very, very interesting. Like Pedro says, and you are on their space and you have to respect that. And yes,
yes,
that's a big thing because you hear so like I hear all these haunted locations, asylums, hospitals, all these big places. People come in, and if you just stop, you're asking the same question that a teen came in yesterday and asked. It's the same question over and over again.
yes,
And like I said, you got to approach it differently. Ask what their favorite color is. Um, Cartoons, because even
yes,
way back when they had cartoons, what's your favorite cartoon? And I said, if you just reach out to them personally instead of asking the same question or
yes,
telling them
yes,
knock 3 times, or don't demand it, just get to know them and be respectful, and I think
yes.
you get a lot more.
A lot more.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And you can tell whether they want, if they're open to communication or they're not.
so the a Dutch YouTuber was yesterday night in that um, building, but I say I never go there,
Mhm.
and he say, "What are you talking about? I was a whole night there, and nothing, nothing, nothing." I say, "You must listen to me. I have told you it's possible you have nothing, nothing.
Mhm.
It's possible you run out. But now, since that video is coming out, everybody go to that building.
Yep.
They stop. They stop to respond. They stop to talk on the spirit box. They do nothing.
Mm-hmm. It's up to the, so like Alpha says, many people think when they, I think he means provoke, they get more activity. I don't think so, because if you talk normally, as you said, it's like talking to a normal person, and I think my experience, I get better response. Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That, you know, I get a lot of people, you know, because people are on the fence, and I never push my abilities on anybody. And I can see, I can hear, I can communicate. I've been in Holland, and well, even before Holland, I saw residual energy here in America. When I lived in Holland, I saw residual energy, which is totally different than an intelligent person. And you know, it's always, you know, you have to be respectful to these people.
Yes.
I mean, now if you've got a nasty, and I'm 48, so I've never seen a demon. And I think that's the other thing here in America. Everything's a demon.
Yes.
Demons.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it drives me crazy, because it's like, do you know how rare it is to actually run into a demon? It's very rare. I've had very grumpy spirits, and you know, then you stand and you know, okay, you know, you're not nice and you're grumpy, and I'm just going to leave you alone. I respect your space, you respect mine.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, and
And the more that you provoke, the more aggressive they are.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very interesting. I mean, I liked my time in Europe and learning, and not only learning but also seeing. I mean, the feeling the hardship of what people went through too. I had somebody ask me, was it meant to be? And this is very funny. My grandfather fought in World War II. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He stayed with a Dutch family south of Holland. He even got 2 postcards from them. And people ask if it was meant to be with me and my husband. Absolutely. We were almost the same age as my grandparents when they got married. When we had our son, almost the same age as well.
Wow.
So it was, I said, yes, I think I was meant to go to Holland, live there, experience it. And some of the things just really stunned not only my husband, but other people as well. I had mentioned the monthly air raid sirens that go off. And I was getting anxious. I was getting nervous, and I was getting sick to my stomach. And I just hated when that siren went off.
Yeah. Yes.
And at the time we had Tysorg helping me. I can't say that right. Did I say it right, Ed?
Thuiszorg. Yeah.
Tysorg. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And I was telling the lady, because the sirens were going off, and she goes, really? And she goes, well, what's interesting, she goes, because I was the youngest person they had to come and make sure I was okay. And they said that she's like, all our seniors she says, react the same way.
Yeah.
When it comes to that time, when that siren goes off, they start getting anxious,
Yes.
and she goes, I can't believe you're picking up on that. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes.
It's every first Monday in the month.
Oh,
Every
oh,
at 12 o'clock.
oh,
And where I live, there all my neighbors and neighbors behind below are old people, very
uh,
old people.
oh,
Uh, and then every Monday, first Monday at the new month, 12 o'clock. Oh,
uh-huh.
no,
It's awful. And she was just so shocked that I was picking up. And I didn't even realize why I was feeling that way. I had no clue. And she's like, that's the reason why.
yeah,
And um, I think the most, uh, what really, I guess, spoke volumes for Ed was every night, we always walked. Every night after dinner, we'd walk the dog. And so we would go every night somewhere different. And this one night we were on the backside of a park, a big park. And I stopped and he's like, what's wrong? I was like, hang on. And I said, I'm picking up children and they're crying. I said, the
oh
fear
wow,
and the anxiety. And I said, they're here and they're crying. I said, the fear is so thick. And so he had a customer of his that was a historian. And he said something. He goes, yeah, he says, when the air raids went off, everybody sent their children to this park for safety. And he came back home and he goes, I'm not shocked. He says, but that you picked up on that. And
yeah,
nobody died. He's like, but you picked up on that. And he was very shocked that I was able to pick up on that.
wow.
I mean, there was many things. I mean, it's funny because still today he'll ask me questions.
And
And it's like, how? And I was like,
I don't know.
I can't explain it to you.
No, you cannot. That's
No.
that's. I work in a second-hand store,
Mm-hmm.
and we have two stores, a big one, and I work in a little one.
Mm-hmm.
And last week, a customer comes to me. She said, "I hear something." Oh, but I know enough. A
Mm-hmm.
second-hand store, and so I go with her, and she said, "I hear there on that plank. I hear something." And a heavy man breathing. So, okay. So, oh, I think it's a baby toy with sleeping music and sleeping sounds. But I know that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, every morning when I come in that store, there is uh, um, uh, uh, children clothing laying on the couch, or a lady dress laying on the ground every single morning.
Wow.
Yes,
That's interesting.
yes.
Very interesting. Do you think, with it being a secondhand store, do you think sometimes some things that come into your store could have an attachment?
Attachment on the stuff they bring in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. That's very, very interesting.
yes. I have asked my boss, can I make a paranormal video? He said no, no.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe
Oh,
we. Oh, I do it when you're not here. I
right,
close the door and I do it. No,
right.
I understand him. He is he think maybe he lost customers.
Right. Yeah, I could understand. I
Yes,
mean, and
but we all know there is something.
oh wow,
Yes,
that is very interesting.
yes,
Oh, the whole paranormal world is just so there's just so much to it.
it's 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 everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I say also it's not only the building where you go,
Hmm.
it's the ground. The
Yes.
ground where so many years ago, the war,
Hmm.
before the war, 1,000 years ago, is always happening. It's on the ground and
Hmm.
not in the building.
Hmm.
Also
That
in the building, but also in the ground.
it's interesting because he the one thing my husband asked, he's like, City Hall was taken over by the Germans. And I said, yeah. And he goes, but why aren't you picking anything up? Because we had to go a lot. And I said, because it changes. It has changed. The decor's changed. So many people are coming in from different nationalities.
Yeah,
And I said, but I can tell you the two floors upstairs. I said, I can tell you right now, there's stuff going on up there. I said, because it hasn't changed as much. And he goes,
okay.
really? And I was like, yeah. I said, but the main floor, I said, it's changed. And I said,
Yes,
when you stack layers upon layers. And it's interesting because I didn't really try, but we had so many things happen. Our dog was very sensitive and he'd start growling but he would be looking up, at a weird angle.
yeah,
And I would go over there. I'm like, Bruiser, it's okay. It's not going to bother you. And he'd calm down. But
yes,
there was one night something came in and it pinged all over. I could feel it going all over the place.
yeah,
And my dog's growling. I've got him calmed down. And Ed gets up and he's walking. I was like, what are you doing? He goes, there's something not right.
oh,
And I said, we have a visitor, honey. And he goes, but I've never felt this before. And he's just constant. And I was like, honey, it's
wow,
pinging all over. And he says, but the hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
wow.
Welcome to the paranormal
Yes,
world.
yes.
So,
So also my bird, it's a little one. It's sometimes you look up and you follow something.
uh-huh. Yep.
I know.
Have you had anything follow you home
No,
from an investigation?
no.
Oh, wow.
My house is uh so clean,
Hmm.
so uh yeah, rustig,
Hmm.
calm, very
Yes.
calm.
Quiet.
Yes,
Quiet. Yeah.
very quiet.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, because my husband was so shocked because I never did anything to provoke or ask, never. But yet, constantly, and what is it you always say, honey?
We have a visitor?
No,
No? What?
bef-
Oh, you're like this you're like this what's it called?
lighthouse.
Lighthouse, right? And you're shining in the darkness, and it attracts all kinds of ghosts that know they can communicate with you.
Oh,
But you also said something about your house.
Well, my house was nice and quiet, just like her house. It was a nice and quiet house until you came by.
I came and
You had baggage.
I had baggage.
extra baggage.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, I don't try. I said, I can't help it. But the one thing I find very interesting, and I've heard several people, I even watched a paranormal show that was on TV that went to Vlad's castle.
Yeah.
And supposedly he spoke to us in English. Vlad didn't speak English. There wasn't even English around in that time. And I've heard so many people go, ghosts, no matter what, can speak English. I was like, nope, nope. When I lived in Holland, I heard Dutch. I heard German. Nobody spoke to me in English. Nobody. And Ed's mother had passed. And I was shocked because I never picked her up. And all of a sudden, I pick her presents up. And she was mad. And I asked him, I said, did your mother speak English? And he's like, I don't know if she spoke English. And I mean, his dad spoke English. And it was one night we were living here. I felt, I woke up and I said, something's not right. And I woke Ed up. I said, there's something in our kid's room that's trying to get through me. It's going through him to try and get my attention.
Yeah.
And I said, I need you to come. I said, I'm going to go in the bedroom and I need you to stay in here. And I said, when I tell you, you need to call your mother. You need to call her. And he goes, okay. And I said, don't. And at the time I had 3 spirit guides. And I mean, I was trying everything to push this negativity. I don't know what it was. I didn't want to figure it out, but I called on my spirit guides. I mean, we were trying, and I said, Ed, call your mom. Whom she can, because Derek, our child, is her only grandchild. And I knew if anybody was going to help, it would be her.
Yeah.
And she came and it was gone. And I said, her presence was so strong.
Oh.
And she was there to protect Derek. I asked her, I said, you need to watch this child, protect him. He needs you. And I told Ed, I said, this is the first time I've actually heard your mom, and she does speak English. But she loved going on cruise ships, so she had to know how to speak English anyways. Yeah. And I figure if his dad could, his mom could. But it was the first time we actually communicated. And I still, every once in a while, she's not here all the time, but when she comes, I can feel her very strong presence. And I mean, to know that he has her is such a relief to me. And we've never had a problem. He always said he would wake us up in the middle of the night screaming in his doorway, Mama, Mama, Mama. And I'd come and I'm like, what's wrong? There's a witch. Baby, there's no witch. It was my great aunt. And you can look down into our living room from his bedroom. And she was just standing there, just watching over, making sure everything's okay. And she was the oldest of my grandfathers. And so she was, always the protector, the caregiver. And I mean, I can remember her. My grandfather died when I was too young, so I don't remember him, but I can remember my great aunt. But my son confused her because she was quite elderly and he thought she was a witch. I was like, baby,
Oh,
that's not a witch. But but the minute Ed called on his mother, we never had a problem ever.
wow.
I mean, it was,
That's beautiful.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what I would have done without her. And, this being her only grandchild,
Yeah.
she is protective. But
Yes.
he's getting a little, now that he's older, he's getting a little interested. And, I told Ed, I said, I'm not sure if he has any abilities. Both my parents had abilities. My dad saw something when he was 16. And when I was around 3-ish, I saw the same thing.
Wow.
Exact same thing. A Native American.
Wow.
I mean, I can vividly remember him, and he looked like an actual person standing there.
Wow.
Wasn't threatening or anything. He
No.
just an older Native American that was just kind of curious. But as a child, I was it still frightened me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's so interesting. I loved my experience, and
I can understand. Yes.
I cried when he's like, "We got to move to America." I cried, and I loved the culture and I loved the history. And it's different. Like where we live, there was an actual Civil War battle, and it wasn't too long after we moved here. The dogs were barking. We brought our dog from Holland with us. They're
Okay.
barking, and my husband goes, "So there must be rabbits outside." I was like, "No, there's nothing outside. I can tell you what they're barking at right now." And he goes, "What?" I said, "There's soldiers in the front yard." He's like,
Soldiers.
"What?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never reached out to him. I always kept the house very protected because of our child. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I always kept a barrier around the house and kept it, and I was like, y'all stay out here. You're not welcome. So
Yeah.
now that he's older, I've reached out to them. And it is the most hilarious thing because what's wrong with her hair? And why is she wearing trousers? Or here in the South, they say breeches for pants. They say breeches. Why is she
Okay.
wearing breeches? And, it's interesting. So I tried to do the spirit box session with them.
Okay. Nothing.
They didn't know radio. Back then, there was no radios. 1860s, no radio. So they had no idea what I was doing. And they're like, what? You want me to do what? So it was hard for me to make them understand. They just thought it was making a bunch of noise and
Yeah. Yeah.
didn't want no part of it. They were like, you can hear us. What's it's like, and nobody's ever reached out to them before. So I think it was quite shocking for them that I
Yeah.
was able to reach out. But it's I think once we get a free moment, we're about 20 minutes from the bloodiest battle.
Yes, you told me.
Mm-hmm. And so
Yes.
I think we're going to go during the day and scout it out
Oh, wow.
and then see if I can find a way to go at night. See what I can pick up. because people who've never had a paranormal experience have experienced paranormal there.
Yeah, that's
So,
that's amazing.
mhm.
Yes.
Well, I am so excited I got to do this interview with you.
Yes, I was. Yeah, sat on the couch. I say to myself, I say, oh, I say, wait, I say, I have live stream tonight.
I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, she made one! She
Yeah.
made one!" Because it's hard to have that 6 hour difference. It's so hard.
Yes, that's very hard.
Mhm. So
Yes.
I was like, I was like, I told him, I said, I need to make time so we can sit down. And I think it would. We don't see that many people um, paranormal mainland Europe being investigated by anybody in America. I mean,
Yeah.
the UK is different,
Yes.
and I mean, I've noticed Germany has been. Uh, there's a lot more paranormal teams in Germany now. Um,
Yes. Yes.
Sweden, Norway. I've noticed it's really been popping up big time. And so I was like, it's nice to be able to hear the difference and see how they do things and introduce people in Europe that investigate the paranormal to America. I think y'all are just as important and need to be heard.
Yes. Yeah, there is a lot different. Where I live, there is it's close to Germany. There is yeah, I don't think I say Battlefield. Ed, ben je er nog?
Ik ben er nog, ja.
Goed. Wij zitten daar tegen Duitsland bij Gennep, Ottersum, waar heel zwaar gevochten is.
Yeah,
Op die,
so they're near Germany where there's been a lot of fighting, heavy fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yes.
your dad was in the Battle of the Bulge. No?
Yeah,
Oh,
grandfather, not dad,
my
grandfather.
grandfather. I'm sorry.
He ain't that old. Good grief.
But dus, I was met my son in a military cemetery. It's in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of the first time I used all my equipment,
Mm-hmm.
the spirit box. I was my mind. I don't know what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
So many will talk to me. Not Netherlands, not Dutch, Germany. Not it was from a Canadian,
Oh wow.
and he talk and all my equipment blow up, all the lights, all the bells, everything.
That's
It
amazing.
was amazing.
Wow. But the
Yes,
heaviness too. There must have been so much heaviness.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. And when I go sit on the ground, and I was with spirit box, and that Canadian that give answers to me, and one time I hear something on the spirit box. I was crying. I was stopped.
Wow.
There was come and the talk and German soldier, and one thing what he say was Hi Hitler.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I say everything out, out, out,
Mhm.
camera out, and I was crying. That was so heavy.
I bet.
Yes.
I had told my husband that I wanted to go to, where did I want to go?
Auschwitz.
Oh wow.
He said no. He says no. He says I've got to put my foot down. He's like no. He's like as sensitive as you are. He's like I think that would be sensory overload. I think it would just be. How did you say it? It would be too hard on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go just to see, you
Mm.
know.
Yes.
And he was like, nope, it ain't gonna happen. And
When you there, you pick everything up.
I don't even have to ask. It just
Yes.
happens. And
It's
that's
happening.
yeah. Where did we went when I think I was 3 months pregnant. We took a holiday where? Center Parks in Holland.
Oh yeah, that was in North Brabant.
And he said, there's a, didn't you say there was a, there was a camp there?
Yeah, let me see.
Uh-oh.
Come first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, let me think on it. But of course, right when our holiday began, I started getting morning sickness so bad.
Oh.
I mean, it was so bad that when we came back home, the doctor put me in the hospital. I spent 4 days in the hospital.
Wow.
I just could not. I mean, I had thrown everything up that I couldn't throw up, but I was still. It was so bad.
Wow.
But he was gonna. He's like, let me think on it. Let me think on it, and I don't think it would have been good with me pregnant and
No.
been there.
I was in comfort, and there is the beds
Mm-hmm.
still there,
Oh wow.
and the oven. Yes.
Oh wow.
I was walking there, and I stood with the beds. Oh, oh, not so fine. So I walk further, and I see the oven
Oh.
is around a door, and I went go in back, and I asked. He said yes, that's the oven where people is in, burning. Oh,
You telling me that is giving me goosebumps.
that's oh
Yeah.
no.
And I mean, yeah, that probably wouldn't have been good at all. No. I mean, as easy as I was picking up things, I mean,
That's not good for you.
no. I mean, I can remember the first time I picked up something, I was explaining when I see the residual energy, I have to speak it out, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. And so it was the first time Ed experienced it. So we were walking and I stopped and he's like, what's wrong? I was like, just wait. And I said, there's Germans and they're pulling people onto this little corner. And I said, it's women, children, men, the elderly. I said, they've got them all lined up. They pulled them off the street. They pulled them in the house. And I said, they're yelling something. The Germans are yelling something. And I'm standing there and I'm quiet. And he's like, what is wrong? And I was like, oh. And he's like, what? I was like, they're shooting them. I said, they're shooting them. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, oh my God, I could smell it. I could smell the gunpowder, the blood. It was a horrific scene. And so we came home and he did some research and he comes back and he was digging in his room because he had all these boxes. And he goes, this is where we were. And I said, yeah. He goes, look at the book. And he says, it's noted. It was what you had books of Rotterdam before the war, during the war, and after the war.
Mhm.
And during the war is where he found it. And he says there's a plaque, but he didn't even know there was a plaque there talking about what had happened.
Yeah.
And he goes, how did you pick this up? He says, what happened is the Germans were trying to call the Dutch resistance out by pulling all these people up and killing them. And he's like, how did you pick this up? And I said, it happens. I can't help it.
Yes.
And then when we went shopping, we would always get stuck in traffic in front of this prison. And I told him, I said, nope, bad things happen in that prison. I said, there's politicians in there. And I said, they're torturing. The Germans are torturing. I can hear them scream. And I said, you could not pay me. And I don't get scared of places. But I said, because of what has happened in there, there's something dark in there. I'm not saying demon, but there's
no.
That what had happened and transpired, the torturing. There's something dark in that prison. And he talked to a historian and he says, when they overtook City Hall, they took him there and tortured him. And he came home, he goes, I don't know how you do it. And I was like, it's not how I do it. It just happens.
It just happened. Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
And I guess it's interesting that when we were in, when we were in Luxembourg and going through the museum, I never picked up anything, but I guess I was so, entrenched in the history and going to all the castles and it just was interesting. I said, I think if I wasn't so, overwhelmed with the history, I probably would have picked up more, but I was just shocked at the amount of castles.
Yeah, that's the Luxembourg. That's only history. Old houses. That's beautiful there.
We went to a ruin of a castle that was there before Christ. And I remember just standing there and soaking it up, just imagining what it must have been like. And it was truly an amazing experience. So
yes.
I love it. I love the history of Europe. And I love the history of America because it's just a totally different thing.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Well, I am so glad you were able to do this interview with me. I am so excited. And please, we put your link out there in the chat. We're putting your link in the description. please subscribe to them. I just love. Once I found your channel, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, we met. We talking from your first day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
before that, I've been following you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
Mm-hmm.
you begin,
Mm-hmm.
you asked me from how.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I was so nervous to create my channel and everything, and
Yes.
I just was like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care what
Yes.
people think.
I say to you, do it. Do it.
Yep. Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
You can do it.
I remember you're like, you still haven't made it yet.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
Yep. So I'm so excited because you mean so much to me.
Yes,
So I'm
you
so glad.
and that is what I told you when I come to America. It's the first thing what I do is come to you.
Yep.
Yes.
Show you around. Yep. It's a different feel. So I'm so excited and I'm so glad I got to interview you and introduce you to a bunch of people that haven't been what's the word I'm looking for? Haven't experienced European investigators. So
I'm so happy. I'm in your live stream too.
Oh, thank you.
My English is not so good, but
Nah.
there to help me.
Well, that's the wonderful thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes things a little bit easier. So
Yes.
I'm so glad you came.
Yes. I'm glad I have done it for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, have a wonderful night. And we
Thank
should talk
you.
soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I hope everybody enjoys this interview. Monique is very special to me, and she means a lot to me. And so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Frank, so much. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.